Good evening and welcome to the Carla Murphy Show, where we are uniquely different. We are so happy that you joined us tonight, where we focus on family, community, Christianity, and business. Our motto is let's gel, let's grow, earn, and learn together. We are so excited that you've decided to join us this evening, and we're in for a jam-packed show. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be enlightening, and enriching, and you're going to feel empowered at the end of this show. We know certainly we are celebrating Women in History Month, and we are just happy to have some of Buffalo and Rochester's finest women on the show tonight. We're happy to have a young man with us, as well as a wonderful, beautiful little youngpreneur. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy. First off on today's show, we're happy to have a civil servant with us. He is actually one who is a financial literacy coach. He is a human resource professional. He serves as a financial services recruiter. He is a father. He is a family man. He is a community member. He believes in brotherhood just as we believe in sisterhood. He is a part of a dynamic family. And so without any further ado, we're going to hear from Mr. Terrence Dubois, who's going to talk about financial literacy, his journey, his venture. And I'm going to say good evening to Mr. Terrence Dubois and to the beautiful little princess, youngpreneur, 6-year-old Miss London, and her brother Tyler, who is sitting back in the way. So Mr. Terrence, good evening and welcome to the Carla Murphy Show.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for having me as well.
You're welcome. I'm so excited about your journey, and I know that you have taken some courageous steps in your life and in terms of trying to make sure that we can all become financially educated, we can become the best that we can be. And so, Mr. Terrence, tell us a little bit about yourself and little youngpreneur London and Tyler.
Okay. Well, my name is Terrence Dubois. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I've actually been a financial advisor for the last 20 years. I've worked in many sectors of the profession. My last stint was more so working with the city of Buffalo employees in the Buffalo Board of Education. And I will go from school to school, educating these teachers of the importance of financial literacy and their 403B and New York State retirement. And I noticed throughout since 2006, like the majority of some of these principals and some of these teachers never really knew too much about financial literacy. They just knew what they went to school for. And I just thought to myself, well, how can I basically educate my children once I actually had children? And that's when I just figured out, well, all the stuff that's in my head, how can I basically get it out and basically start educating my kids? And that's when I developed some financial literacy cards to more so transfer my knowledge that I actually had in my head to basically give it to my kids, you know, in doses as I can. So that's more so like my theory is more so, hey, how can I basically transfer my knowledge to my children, but more so to, you know, other people that look just like me, because I know that they don't teach this stuff in the Buffalo Board. And not I wouldn't even say the Buffalo Board, I would say like any particular public school. So my goal is more so just to get my financial literacy cards that I created and put them into all the school systems and basically all the children that basically I can get my hands on. Just because I know like how important it is to basically know about financial literacy. And right now, it's like I believe our school system is failing when it comes to financial literacy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Terrence. So I know that I've been excited about enjoying my cards. The only thing I'm sad about is that I don't have the autographs of Miss London and Mr. Tyler. So we'll have to work on that. I will be ordering another set, okay? Ms. London, I have to have your autograph, okay? So along this journey, Mr. Terrence, tell us a little bit why, in addition to what you stated, why you decided to do this by having these literacy cards and starting a business.
Okay. Well, the funny thing is, like, these are the cards. And if you can see, it's like my daughter is like 3 years old in this picture. Right now, she's 6. And so 3 years has went by and it's like, well, you know what? I've seen that, you know, the kids are basically still struggling. But I'm like, well, what can I do to basically get this out? But more so it's basically about creating generational wealth. So I said, you know what, let me create something that basically my kids can basically inherit. Because a lot of people basically, you know, speaking about generational wealth, but the thing is, what if you don't actually have those assets there to create the generational wealth? I said, well, how can I basically create something that's basically going to be in my family's life forever? And that's when I said, you know what, let me basically figure out and basically do these cards. So now if I basically pass away, like these cards and this information is never going anywhere. So my kids can basically just, have these that basically daddy created in 2020 and basically sell these for life. And now my grandchildren, whenever they do decide to have children, they can actually sell these as well. And now basically that's how I just created generational wealth. So it's more so for a business standpoint, where how can I basically give something to them on top of life insurance and then knowledge. So that's when I just say, you know what, let me create these financial literacy cards and also have a game coming out probably next year as well. So the thing is really just each one teach one. So the thing is, I just want to educate as many people as I can on really just the importance of financial literacy. And now they're in business for themselves as well.
So I like that each one teach one. And we know that it's very important to be able to share knowledge with our young people, which is the best time to try to reach them so that they can start having good financial habits.
Yes.
So, Mr. Terrence, I know that I've heard rumors that there's something else going on Thursday evenings at the 7 o'clock hour. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. So me and my business partner, he actually does business credit. He repairs credit. He does auto financing as well. So we more so just came together and figure out, well, how can we basically collaborate with our ideas, our knowledge? And he has 20 years of experience in like credit repair and business repair, or business credit as well. So we just figure out how can we create, some type of platform we can basically just educate the masses and just give this information free. So we developed a podcast. So now every Thursday, we basically have a podcast called Money, Power, and Invest. And it comes out every Thursday. And it's basically just we're interviewing like local people who basically bring something valuable to the table that they can share and educate other people. But it's not just for local people. We're more so looking to interview other people from out of state as well. Just so, because really, like, not everyone is meant to go to college. So the thing is, what if you want to do a trade, or like, what if a trade is not good for you? We still want to be able to give them access to the information without basically incurring all these $1,000 of debt. So we're just trying to bring, different people onto the show every week to basically just give their knowledge and hopefully just, reach out to the masses and create some future entrepreneurs.
It's awesome. I love that. That is really amazing. And certainly you are to be commended. And I want to ask Miss London. Miss London, so I know that you're 6 years old. What grade are you in?
First grade.
You're in first grade? Are you a good student?
Yes.
I believe that. I believe that. So I know that you have these beautiful cards and your picture is on them. How does that make you feel?
Happy.
It makes you feel happy. It makes me feel happy too. When I saw the posting that the cards were on sale, I could not wait to order them. So I was so happy to see your smiling face. And when they got delivered, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't wait to break them open and start reading them. So Miss London, do you share the cards with your friends?
Yes.
That's great. So I'm so proud of you as a youngpreneur, and that's a young person who has their own business, who's interested in business, and who is trying to build their business. So you are a youngpreneur, you and your brother Tyler, and I am so happy to welcome you to Youngpreneurs Alliance, where we're going to partner, we're going to reach you, we're going to connect with you, and we're going to help you as best we can to grow your business. So Mr. Terrence, I want to thank you so much, and Miss London, for coming on to the show today and sharing all of your greatness with us. For all of the viewers and the listening audience, please tell us how we can get these fabulous financial literacy cards.
Perfect. Well, you can log on to her website. It's basically TL Dubois, which more so stands for Tyler London Dubois. So TL Dubois, flashcards.com is all one word. And it's funny, like those are my initials as well. So that's why I love the name, because at any given time they can basically just branch off and do their own thing. But the cards, of course, the website again is TL Dubois, well, TL Flashcards, TLDflashcards.com. So yeah, TLDflashcards.com.
Thank you so much for taking time to
Problem.
join the
Anytime.
show, and we are excited. We're looking to support you. And
Thank you.
Miss London, I'm looking to see your face again. Okay, will that work? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. And Mr. Terrence, it's been such a pleasure. And
My
we
pleasure.
wish you great success on your podcast. And whatever we can do at the Carla Murphy Show, where we are uniquely different to support you, we will be there.
All right. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, I am so happy, honored, grateful, and overjoyed to welcome this amazing group of ladies. The Buffalo Club of the National Association of Negro Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated, where our president is Miss Janet Barnes. We know her to be a retired educator. We know her to be a sister. We know these club members to all be unique in their own right. We know them to be educators. We know them to be social workers, to be entrepreneurs. We know them to work in housing. We know some magnificent things about these ladies, and they will do anything that they can to help to be supportive to the community. And so that being said, without further ado, I know they've been such a blessing in my life. I'm so happy to know each of them. They've been mentors. They've been big sisters. They've been just amazing, amazing women of God. And I just want to thank you all for all of the loving support, care, and concern that you have given to me down through the years. Particularly, we have some of these ladies on the line, Miss Janet Barnes, Miss Aileen Davis, Miss Cindy Clark. They pushed me, they pushed me, they pushed me, and they saw a lot of greatness in me a long time ago. And so, ladies, to each of you and to all of the other sisters of the club, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a pleasure to have served with you, and it's a great honor for you to be here tonight. So, Miss Janet Barnes, please lead us further.
Good evening, everyone. What I'm going to do is to talk a little bit about our club, and then we have some other members of our club that are going to talk about an event that's coming up. The National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated was started by a woman named Emma Odessa Young, and she was a realtor in New York City. And she was a member of the New York Club Business and Professional Women. So from there, our club was established, and from there, other clubs began to pop up all over the United States. We had clubs in Korea at one time, the Bahamas, Africa. And right now, we have clubs in Africa. And we're getting ready to start a club internationally as well, in Toronto, actually. But our club was established, the National Club was established in 1935. So the Buffalo Club was established in 1958. And the first president was Mrs. Charlotte McNeil. And so from there, we began to work in the Buffalo community with a lot of different projects, including Adopt a Classroom. We work with the American Heart Association. We have book drives, church visitations, diabetes awareness, health fairs, Officers Appreciation Night, pumpkin patch parties, sickle cell projects. And one of our classic events that we do every year is our Soldier in the Truth Awards. It was a luncheon, but of course this year won't be a luncheon. It will be a ceremony virtually. And you will hear Cindy Clark talk about that in a few minutes. So we are active, we are well, and we are doing as much as we can in the community to help our young people. That's our main focus. However, our club has so many various components. We have a component for women, for our young people, and we're talking about young people from from ages say 12 to 13 up to about 18. And then from that, when we had the Beta Psi Club for the college students. From there, then after those who graduate from college, then we have another group, we call it the Young Adult Club. Then we have our General Member Club, that's the adult club. That's for anyone who's graduated from college on up. And we also have a component for the men, the Ombudsman's Club. So when you know, sometimes you go to a convention, you take someone with you, and you're in meetings, and there's nothing else to do. The rest of the family is like on their own. That's not this organization. There's something for everyone to do in this organization. It's a great organization, and I've been in a lot of different things. I'm still in a lot of different organizations. I will always be in the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated because of what it does. It teaches people to how to be a good citizen. It teaches you how to be a good leader and how to work with the community. And I love it. So at this time, Cindy Clark is going to tell you about this upcoming event that we have.
Well, our event is the Sojourner Truth Awards. It used to be a luncheon, but now this year we have to go virtual, where we honor those people that are in the community who do work for the community. This year we will have a person who represents Sojourner Truth, business, professional, community service, man of the year, our youth initiative, and achievement. It's we give out scholarships for those high school seniors who are going into college. And for this event, the donation would be $25. And for those people who participate and come together with our endeavors, we have a basket raffle for our gratitudes. So your names will be put into this basket. We should have, like, it used to be like a big Chinese auction, but we can't do that anymore either. So we have like maybe 20 baskets that are worth over $50 or more. And all the names will be put in, those who participate in our awards, Sojourner Truth Awards initiative. Names will go into the basket, and then one name will be drawn out for each basket for gratitude. So we want to thank you and hope you help us participate and send our folks to college, help with the cost for college.
Thank you so much, Miss Janet and Miss Cindy. So the baskets, are you accepting donations for baskets?
Yes, we are.
And how will that happen?
You can get in touch with me, or I can leave my name and or Kamala, whichever one, and name and phone number, and we can pick up the basket for the donation.
All right. And certainly if there's anyone who would like to contribute and would like to donate for that grand occasion, you can certainly reach out to the Carla Murphy Show, and we will make sure that it gets into the proper hands. And so $25 a ticket, that's not bad. And so I'm looking forward to us all supporting one another, for truly scholarships help to lighten the load. And we know that they come in handy no matter how great or how small they may be. So we are looking forward to great things. Miss Janet, I would like to ask you, if someone wants to become a member of the Buffalo Club of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated, how can they go about doing that?
We just need their name and we'll send them a membership packet out. Aileen Davis is our membership chair for the Buffalo Club. And if someone is interested in becoming a member, in the chat, they can just leave their name, or they can send their name to you. And you as a member, former member, I'm not going to say former member, because I know you're busy right now and you're going to be coming back working with us very soon. But they can send their name to you, and you can get the name to us, and we'll be happy to send out a membership packet to them.
Thank you so much, ladies.
And I just want to shout out to Martha. Martha is on here for something else, but Martha is also a member of the organization. She is the president of the Rochester Club. So I'm just so glad to see her on the screen tonight as well.
Thank you so
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to partnering with the Buffalo Club and seeing more of your smiling faces. For certainly, we all will be working together and working together in love to enrich and encourage and to build up young ladies and old alike. And so thank you so much for being here with us, to Miss Kamala, Miss Gladys, Miss Laura, Miss Sheree, Miss Aileen, Miss Vicky. We are so happy that each of you took the time to come and share with us. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're looking forward to a successful event. And certainly we know that you will have donations from Jewelry by Celeste. You will have a donation from her, and you will have a donation from the Carla Murphy Show, Uniquely Different. And so those are two that you can.
Oh, wonderful.
You will be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, ladies. Next, we have an amazing woman from the Rochester, New York area, a member of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated. She's a part of the Rochester chapter. She is a radio show host. Miss Martha Hope, we know that she's a Christian woman. I know her from many years ago from being affiliated with the Christian Friendship Church in Henrietta, New York. And so Miss Martha Hope, she's active in supporting youth ministry and senior ministry. She believes in trying to help people to improve their lives when they become seniors. And she's going to talk to us about relationships, after you're alone, being connected, and the isolation that seniors have.
Look what I made.
So, Miss Martha Hope, thank you so much for coming and joining us as Toastmaster, and we're excited to hear from you this evening. So, Miss Martha Hope, good evening. Welcome to the show, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Sister Carla. It's good to see you again. It's been a long time, though.
Yes,
I'm happy to be here. I'm privileged to be here, and it's good to see all my sisters from Buffalo. And I'm just going to say this: Janet works us hard in the choir at the National Convention, but we get it together, and we do pretty good at the end. But she is a wonderful director and teacher. And again, thank you. I am, yes, a Toastmaster, but my real passion is for senior citizens. And I think that if the pandemic did anything, Carla, I think it gave me the opportunity to reflect. I have done a lot of thinking, a lot of reflecting in the past year. And I think what came out of it is that I'm lonely from time to time. It's different in being alone and lonely. So I started talking to friends. I'm pretty much of a social butterfly, but that kind of cut it off. COVID kind of cut that off. But I found that people are just so lonely. So I started doing a little research, and I found out that about 12 million Americans 65 and older are live alone, and that they are single. So I decided that what I was going to do was pull together what I call a senior ball, another place in time. Because one thing about it, age is more than just a number. I know we say it all the time that age is just a number, but it's a little more than that. I feel it in my hip, in my knees, and in my back, and and I don't remember things all the time. And actually, I write a column in our local paper, the Minority Reporter, and it's called Senior Moment. And there's so much that we remember, but you sometimes can't even remember what you said just a second ago. But what I thought I'd do, as I said, is to put together a senior ball where seniors could come together. This is 55 plus African Americans or people of color or Black or whatever we want to call ourselves. And what we would do, old people like to talk, I'm gonna take that back. Seasoned people like to talk about the past. So I thought we would have tables for people that wanted to sit down and talk about their grandkids and show their old pictures and that kind of thing. And I also found that as seniors, even when we go to the doctor, we think the doctor knows everything, and we don't feel like we can challenge him and say, no, I don't feel good when I take that medicine. So I was going to have someone there. I would bring vendors in, but those vendors would look like the person that can help you with a power of attorney, a person that can help you with a will, a person that can talk to you about your relationship with your doctor. And we were going to have some back in the day music, some old music, and do some old dances, and it was just going to be a good time. But of course, COVID came in, and we had to put things on hold. So on December 8th, 12th, I decided I'm going to move forward with it anyways. And I did a virtual ball, and we had a ball. So what came out of that is the Wisdom Circle of Hope. So once a month, we get together, people that I know all over the United States, even my friend in Alaska, we came together. It's only about, at this point, probably about 25 of us or a little over that. And we talk about what is bothering us. We talked about how COVID has affected the elderly. I did a little more research, and there's about 18% of us young, older people that actually commit suicide. And guess what? The reasons for that is loneliness. So I thought if we could come together, build new relationships, we don't have to find our boo at the circle, but we can find a friend. You might see someone or hear someone speak that you would like to develop a friendly relationship with. So it's been one great thing. It keeps growing. And then I get this call from this famous person called Carla Murphy that I could come on her show and talk about the Wisdom Circle of Hope. And it's all about older people. We don't have to die off. Society is kind of, after that 25 or 30 years of working, what happens to us? We're either volunteering or sitting in a rocking chair, or our body is riddled with arthritis or something like that. But we have started to do things, and I am just delighted to be here. I'm excited about the program itself, the Wisdom Circle, that at some point in time, maybe Carla Murphy can come and visit our circle and talk about what you do as well. But we have to support each other. And as I said in the circle one night, even if you don't see that person all the time, it doesn't have to be the person at your church. It doesn't have to be that person in your club. You may know people that you haven't seen in a very long time. Maybe you could send somebody a note. And if you see somebody on Zoom that you would like to say hello to, find out who that person is. Send a little note and say hello, because sometimes that's all that you see. And when we think about nursing homes, how isolated you can become in a nursing home. I lost my husband after 60-year relationship, and I don't know how to date. I don't want to date, but I would like to, at some point. I'm not used to going out by myself to social events, but maybe I can meet someone that we like each other enough to, but I know the younger men are doing something different than the old timers was, so I know all the tricks, so, but it's been amazing. Carla, it really has been amazing how older people want to connect, and we don't think about it, but we want to connect, but we have to reach out and do that. And if you have to do it through your church, then do it through your church. You know, some people are not as outgoing as myself, and they want a phone call or they want a visit, but they don't know how to do that. So I'm saying we have to support each other. Most of us don't know how to navigate the system, so I help with that as well. Anything that a senior needs, if you don't know about it, I will get the answer to you, and I'll do it myself if I have to do that. So I'm excited about the program. I'll take questions.
Thank you so much, Miss Martha. So I would like to know if people would like to become a part of the Wisdom Circle of Hope, how could they do that?
Well, they could just email marthahope9@aol.com and I would send you the link. It's for African Americans 55 years and plus.
And one more time, will you give that email address, please?
marthahope9, the number 9, @aol.com. And I will send you the link.
Thank you so much, Ms. Martha, for coming and sharing with us. For certainly, no matter what age you are, you can become alone and it can feel a little lonely. However, we know that by connecting to our families, our church, our communities, and by sharing in a sisterhood, we know that it can help to fill some of that void. So we are very excited to have connected with you. We're wishing great success upon you, and anything that the Carla Murphy Show can do to help you to get the word out about your project, what your passion, please, you know how to reach me and we certainly will connect. So I'm thankful for you, Miss Martha, for coming and sharing on the Carla Murphy Show today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. This next young lady, or maybe not, Miss Ella Robinson. Some of us know her as Miss Elaine Robinson, but I am happy to say I've known Miss Ella my entire life. I've known her from the womb. I've known her. She's been a friend to our family, and she's been a great supporter in music ministry. She's gone all over the world, and we've been the members of the same church together, the Greater Hope Baptist Church, where her father was the founder. And so it's been such a pleasure. Miss Robinson has always opened up the door for people around her. She's always, no matter how old or how young, no matter how rich or how poor, Miss Ella Robinson has really, really made the road easier for many. She's created amazing journeys, and I'm so happy to have been a part of them. I know her as not only a member of the Greater Hope Baptist Church, where she is the musician. We know her as the founder of the New Beginning Choral Ensemble, the Western New York Chapter Choir of the Gospel Music Workshop of America, where she also serves as a board member. We know her as the minister of music at the St. Martin de Perez Catholic Church. She's a retired educator, a music teacher, a piano teacher, a phenomenal songwriter. She has produced musicals, concerts, and plays. And I am so thankful, Ms. Robinson, for all of the doors that you have opened for me. For truly, you have made a way for me to travel to some places that I would not have ever had the opportunity to go had it not been for your loving care. And so I thank you. My first overseas trip was actually with the New Beginning Choral Ensemble, Western New York Chapter Choir, and we went to Dortmund, Germany. And that just opened up the door for so many other trips. And I just want to tell you, I love you and I thank you for all that you have done to support not only me, but to be kind to my family and so many others. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And without further ado, we're going to hear from this woman of God who is a wife. She is a mother, and we are grateful that she has been a sister and a dear friend to many. So Miss Ella Robinson, good evening and welcome to the Carla Murphy Show.
Good evening. I had to see who you were talking about. I didn't realize that I had been that much part of your life, but I do remember you have truly been the perfect young lady and truly a model for our young people in our church and community to follow, because you've always maintained a rapport of excellence in everything you do. You've always acted like a lady. You've just been wonderful. And I'm so proud of you, Mar, at this point in your life to be taking on this task.
Thank you.
Last week was the annual session for the Gospel Music Workshop of America, which was done virtually. And I was asked to be on a panel talking about surviving depression during the pandemic. And I have learned in my walk of faith that God always puts you where you need to be there. And because I had suffered so many deaths in my family, I've lost three very close members. I lost two sister-in-laws, and when you've been married 54 years, your sister-in-laws are just like your sisters.
Mm.
And I lost my sister as well, and my sister-in-laws and several friends. And at points in my life, I began to wonder, why is all this happening? But then when I was contacted to be on this panel to how to survive some depression, I said, well, the Lord has put me through this so I would find how to get through, because you have to go through to get to.
Mm-hmm.
He put me through that so that I would know how to survive, and now I know how to talk about it. Now, one thing you have to realize that we often associate depression with death and losing loved ones. And truly, it has been really a terrible thing during this pandemic. So many of us have been touched by surmountable deaths. So many people have died around us, friends, loved ones, just so many, and all of them to COVID, but because of we being enclosed, just been so many people dying. And at one point I was wondering, can I survive this? Can I keep on looking at people? Can I keep going to funerals? Can I keep praying for funerals? Can I go through this? And it was very difficult. But the one thing that I had to look at, those people that have been taken home, they've transitioned to a better place.
Mm-hmm.
A better place. So if you look at it from that point of view, you may be lonely, you may be missing them, but they're in a better place. They're no longer suffering, they're no longer sick. And I know what my husband said when his sister passed, he was upset that she left him here because he knew that she would not be suffering anymore. And I know Cindy can relate to that because Cindy's very close to my family as far as my sister-in-laws, both of them being gone. But the other thing about depression is not always about being with death. Depression can be the result of a change in lifestyle. When we are caught up in our homes and we can't get out and do the things we normally do, you can get depressed because you can't be with your friends. You can't go out and socialize. You can't go to church. You can't fellowship. You can't have all of the things that you've been involved in the same way. And this can cause depression. Now, there are a lot of biblical scriptures. You can go online and read a lot of things, the scriptures that can motivate you and keep you going when you're going through depression. But there are certain things you can do that can help you through this. Now, for me, I keep a schedule every day. I'm not going to sit up and mope. Every day I get up, get dressed, fix breakfast, and that's a good thing too, because when I was working, I never had time to take care of my husband and fix him breakfast and cook for him and share time with him. Now I have time to do that. So I've been cooking breakfast, get up, do my exercise. I have projects. I've organized pictures at home. I have different things, organized stuff in drawers, things like that I know where things were. I've been stuffing away, keeping myself busy. And also the other thing that is significant about surviving the depression is God gave us this time to learn how to communicate with each other without being together. Just like we're doing this virtually now. We can get with our families. And, sometimes we don't meet with our families. We don't get together. Since this has started, our family meets every month. We get together and we share. And I learned, and because we can meet without spending a lot of money going across the country, we can all be together for almost nothing. And you get to learn your family, fellowship with them, and see everybody. So this takes you out of depression, because a lot of times before these type of technology things have come, we didn't see our families. We couldn't be together. We had to wait till we could go on a vacation or talk to them. Maybe you could talk to them on the phone, but seeing them, that is great. This is a new way. Now, the other thing about the depression is the fact that we have to learn how to do other things. One of the main things that I missed was church, going to church and worship. But now we can have church on the phone. We can have church through Zoom. We can be together in that ways. Even though we can't physically touch each other, we can touch each other in spirituality, because we can still fellowship together through technology. So these are ways that you can go through getting through depression. A lot of times, one of the things I remember, the first sermon that the pastor of First Calvary preached when he became the pastor there, Pastor Drayton, and he said, "What do people that are full of themselves, that are really caught up on themselves? and people that have low esteem, self-esteem, what do they have in common? And we sat there, we wondered, what do they have? What would I have in common with a person that's kind of full of themselves and a person with low self-esteem? And he said, too much preoccupation with self. Sometimes we're so caught up with ourselves, we don't see other avenues we can pursue. We get so caught up in a pity party. But think about how the Lord has blessed you. Think that you can communicate with each other, that you can get to know your family. Take the time out to find out who your family members are. Take the time out to call them. Take the time out to plan meetings where you come together. We meet the first Saturday at 5 o'clock every month. And it's just been wonderful. We got a website and a Facebook page where we share pictures of all the family members and our ancestors. We've been investigating and learning about our forefathers and where we came from. And a lot of people in our family have made major contributions and we didn't know anything about it. We didn't even know who they were. So this has really motivated us and it's helped us through this time where we've been kind of like isolated from the public and like we normally are. And this has made me take a unique look at what God has in plan for my life. I can now see how I can make moves in a different way because of the time that I have to concentrate. I've had more time to study the Bible, more time to attend Bible class, more time to do other things that I didn't have chances for before this pandemic. The pandemic has changed my life in a positive manner as well as in a negative manner, and which has caused me to be able to handle the depression that I've been subjected to, not only because of the lifestyle change and not only because of me being in a situation where I've lost a lot of loved ones, but it has enlightened me to understand that there is a purpose in life for me that I had not investigated before, that I had not realized before, that I can now pursue those things and do better because I have time to do it. You said you're going to ask me some questions. I'm through talking.
It's okay, Ms. Robinson. We wanted to hear about your journey, and certainly this has been a part of it. We know that you've traveled here and traveled there, and you've been everywhere. And so I know that you have poured into the lives of so many with the music ministry. And maybe there's something you want to share with us, words of encouragement on how we can live life, continue to move forward throughout this pandemic, and how we can come back again when it's over.
Oh, yes. I think that we'll have a different way of looking at things once this pandemic is over. We will appreciate being able to go to church. We will appreciate, well, a lot of times, I'm tired of going to choir rehearsal, but now, I can't wait to get back in that choir and sing. Or I can't wait to get back there and see my friends. And that AME after meeting, eating, after you get out of church, you go to fellowship with your friends, you miss all of that too. And when you're on the Zoom, you're getting the fellowship, but it isn't the same feeling as when you get together. You don't feel as spiritually motivated on the Zoom as you do when you're in church, when you brothers and sisters come together and the emotion just flows through the service. We'll appreciate things will be different. And the other thing about the pandemic has caused by us having the new ways of worshiping and coming together, those people that are sick and homebound can still be a part of worship now, where they weren't before. And I think that one of the things that tickled me was when they said they weren't going to have any more snow days for school because now they can do school on Zoom. So, and some people complaining, well, we don't have no more snow days. No, you don't have to have snow day because now we can get on there and do it together. And it's the same thing with church now. We don't have to cancel church anymore. We don't have to say no more service because we can go right back to this. So even though we may come back together in the church a little differently than we were before, perhaps, but we'll still maintain this as a backup so that those people will not have to miss service, so they will not have to be away from the fellowship totally because of weather or things like that will constrain them from getting out, especially for your senior citizens and homebound people. You'll be able to get out and be able to get together when you can, and when you can't, you'll be in your home and you still be a part of it.
Ms. Robinson, thank you so much for being uniquely different. Down through the years, you have proven that being different is a great way to be. I've watched you just do so many things. I don't know how you've juggled the schedule for so long. And Miss Janet, you know about that juggling act and having these busy schedules. Many of us do. And so just thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and share with us tonight on the Carla Murphy Show. For truly, that is special. And I'm happy that you were able to be a part. Please give Mr. Jackie my love and thank him for always sharing you with us, the young people and the Buffalo, Western New York community. So God bless you, Ms. Robinson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to have one of my sisters and dear friends, Ms. Keisha Jacobs, join us. She is an educator. Ms. Keisha is also a Christian educator. She is a musician. She's a singer. She's a wife, a mom, a grandmother, and she is definitely a dear friend. So I know Ms. Keisha is not a stranger to the Carla Murphy Show, where certainly she is uniquely different. And we're looking forward to hearing from her this evening about mastering learning in a virtual world. So good evening, Ms. Keisha Jacobs.
Good evening, Carla. Thank you for having me on the show again. Hello to all the beautiful ladies on this panel. Hello, Miss Ella, my music teacher. Hello, Auntie Cindy. I feel so honored to be in the presence of some really awesome women today. One of the things that I want to talk about is mastering learning in a virtual world. We live in a virtual world, whether we want to accept it or not. Those who can accept it will transition easily into our new world, and those who are against this virtual world will struggle with it. The same thing is happening that we're seeing with our students. When our students are not able to make that adjustment into the virtual method of learning, which has become our new norm, many of our students struggle. They struggle because it's different. Instead of doing the pencil and the paper and having their markers and their crayons on their desk, everything's on their device, be it a tablet, an iPad, or even the Chromebooks, which most of our students are using now. And they're being forced to submit work electronically. There are positives to this, there are negatives to this. One of the things is how do we go about helping our children to be successful as they are learning in this new world of theirs? Be on time. Being on time is so crucial because when you're not there, you're missing something. And unlike when we were in the classroom, and some of the children are still through the hybrid model, are returning to the classroom, in the virtual world, when you're not on time, you miss more than just the teacher saying something or just notes. You're missing the engagement. You're missing the socialization. You're missing the activities that may go with the lessons, the virtual activities that go with the lessons. So be on time, be there, be prepared. That means your device needs to be charged the night before, not playing Roblox or playing some other video games, because we have to teach our children that those devices were provided through the school district for their learning. When our children are using those devices for other means, and then they're destroyed, somebody has to pay for that device. Not only does someone have to pay for that device, but that child misses out when that device is not working or their device is not charged. One of the things I know that I go through in the course of the day is, Ms. Jacobs, I got to come back later because my iPad is about to die. So while that child is away from the classroom and they're waiting for their iPad to charge, that could be 20, 30 minutes of learning that child has missed. Okay, let's assume that it's 20 minutes over a period of 3 days. That's an hour of learning that child has missed because that device was not charged. Okay, so we have 180 days. Imagine how many minutes of a particular subject area that child has missed of instruction. And each grade level builds on the next grade level. So when that child, for example, I teach 5th grade this year. So if I have a 5th grade student who right now in math, for example, we're doing fractions. But if that child doesn't know the foundations of multiplication and division because they weren't present, when we're dividing fractions, it's going to be a struggle for them because they missed the foundational concepts that were necessary to move on to the next step. So it's important that the child is on time and the child is prepared. Now, preparation is not always just simply be prepared with your materials. Be prepared for learning. It is important that our children are rested. Sleeping in class, be it in a classroom setting or a virtual setting, is not good. Okay? We have to make sure our children are rested and that they are mentally prepared for learning. If they're not mentally prepared for learning, then it affects every other situation for learning. Okay, if they're not mentally there, if whatever's going on in the background, okay, if the background setting is not conducive for learning, then that child is going to be distracted. If their TV's on and that child's trying to learn, that child is going to be distracted. For example, if I suggested to my parents, get headphones for your children, the big headphones, not the little ones. But I asked my parents at the beginning of the year, find two things. Find a quiet place for that child to work where they're not going to be distracted. And secondly, buy the headphones. And the headphones will help them. The larger ones will help your child block out any extra noise. And if they have a specific place of learning, and this is the place where they're learning, be it the kitchen table, be in the dining room table, be it their bedroom, okay? It's the same thing as if it was a stationary desk, okay? We're building routines. We're building habits. But when the child is all over the place, we have people all over the house, parents, you're saying what you want for breakfast, and we're in the middle of class. Think about the child who is on the other line, who may not have food to eat. And even though you're concerned with feeding your child, another child's hearing this through the monitor. What effects does that have to that child who does not have? Okay, so we have to be considerate. We have to realize that being in this virtual world of learning is still a community, and we must treat it and respect it as such. Another thing that we have to be mindful is assignments. Assignments got to be done every day. We teach our children in a traditional classroom to do homework every day. Okay, and I know I have some fellow principals and educators here. Homework helps us to not only practice the skill, to get practice of skill. It shows me as a teacher, what can you do when I'm not guiding the lesson? But also classwork is just as vital important. It helps me to plan and drive the lesson. But if your child is not turning in assignments, then how do I know what your child knows and what your child does not know? How do I know, did I teach this lesson to meet the needs of my students, or do I need to revise this lesson? But if I have no evidence of learning, then how can I say you've learned or you've mastered the skill? So these are just a little few tips to kind of help guide our parents. And remember, your teacher is there to partnership with you. I know it's different, and some parents are feeling, well, I have to teach my child. No, you're not. You don't have to teach your child. Okay, we're here to support what you're doing, but we're also asking parents, support us. Support us as we support your child to excellence. If there's questions, be sure to tell your teachers, I don't understand this. My child doesn't understand this. What other resources are available? Even though this is a virtual world, in a virtual learning setting, many schools have opened up virtual after-school programs, which are good because if your child is struggling during the daytime school, there is extra help in a less formal setting per se, where extra support is there. We want all of our children to be successful, okay? And just as it's different for our families, this is a different area for teachers and administrators as well, because we're all learning together, okay? We don't have all the answers, but we're learning and we're trying. And if we're on this journey together, we'll get to the goal. But like I said, it is so important, just the basic things, be on time, be present, be prepared, do the homework, do the questions, submit your work, and submit your work in a timely fashion, okay? To give your teacher enough time to review the work and to give you corrective feedback or positive notes if they're needed. Okay, the easiest thing that I tell my parents is expect the same expectation you would have if your child was in a classroom. have those same expectations. The only difference is the setting. The difference in the learning is, where am I learning? You know, we're so comfortable with, my child needs to go to school. Your child is in school. We have to take off the blinders and say, listen, you may not be sitting at your desk and you're sitting at the table, but the instruction has not changed. The expectations have not changed. Okay? Our placement has changed. And I think that once we understand that there's a partnership in education between the community, the family, and the school, we will together grow on this where all of our students will be successful. You know, no child should be left behind. So.
Ms.
Okay.
Keisha, thank you so much for sharing. That was really encouraging and uplifting. And hopefully, parents, you're listening and you were taking some good notes, because those are definitely tips that can help us along the way. For
Yes.
truly, no matter what age we are, if we are studying, if we are learning, then we can grow by following some of those tips, whether it be in the family, trying to be a better family member, or in the community, trying to be stronger, or in Christianity, where we're constantly learning and growing, or in business, where we want to make more money. So those tips will come in handy to be prepared, to make sure that we take care of ourselves, we get enough rest, we eat for the nourishments of our bodies. And so, Ms. Keisha, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing those important facts that can help us to be successful along the way. So I am so grateful. We're coming to the close of an amazing show. And before we close today, I want to just remind us that we do have the Buffalo Club of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated. The Sojourner Truth Awards program will be coming. We have Wisdom Circle of Hope in Rochester, New York. And we also have those lovely financial literacy cards that are available. So we are looking forward to greatness. We're looking forward to each of you being safe, healthy, and well for you and your families. And the Carla Murphy Show, Uniquely Different, we're here to support you. We are very happy and excited about our Youngpreneurs and Youngpreneurs Alliance, those young people who are involved in business. And we have what you need. We have nail polish, we have books, we have young people who have lip gloss lines, lip care lines. We have people who are musicians, songwriters. And so certainly, if you're looking for a place to connect your young people who are interested in business, Youngpreneurs Alliance, under my leadership, we're here to serve you. We're here to help you parents, to help your children and young people's dreams to come true. So thank you all for sharing. I pray God's blessings be upon you. Have a wonderful night. And we are looking forward to again supporting on May 1st for the Sojourner Truth Awards program for the Buffalo Club of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women. Thank you to each of you, to you special ladies, to this wonderful gentleman who came to be a part, and to that lovely little princess who shared with us today. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. Until we meet again, we'll see you next time. Take care of the Carla Murphy Show, Uniquely Different.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.